In your lesson today, you're going to have an introduction to angles. And this symbol right here is the angle symbol. And I'll be drawing that a lot whenever I name an angle. Let's start off with a definition. An angle is the union of two rays with a common vertex. Okay, a union of two rays with a common vertex. When I say the union of two rays, it means that two rays are coming together. Okay, and the point where they come together is the vertex. So this is a picture of what an angle looks like. There are two rays that are creating this this angle. One of the rays is the ray AT. It starts at A and extends through point T, so we call that ray AT, which looks like that. Okay, that arrow on top is the ray symbol, and again it starts at A and it goes through T. Ray AT, and the other ray is AM, ray AM, which looks like that. Okay, ray AT and ray AM make the angle. Okay, now to name an angle, we can do this in a few different ways. All right, the first way that we're going to name the angle is by using three letters. Okay, you can name an angle by using three letters. And when you use the three letters, you have to stay on the angle the entire time. For example, if I tried to call the angle ATM, ATM, while I've fallen off the angle if I try to name it like that. Or if I try angle AMT, again, I'm not staying on the angle the entire time. But if I call it angle MAT, that's going to work. So I'm going to put the angle symbol, angle MAT, or I can call it angle TAM. Angle TAM would be the other way that I could name it by using three letters. Okay? A second way that you can name an angle is by the vertex point. By the vertex point. If there's only one angle at the vertex point, then you could call it simply by the vertex point. The vertex point is where the two rays come together, and that was here at point A. So I could simply just call this angle A, because it's the only angle with that vertex point. The other way that you could name an angle is by a number. And we don't have one in this example, but if you look at some of the other examples later on, you can see that inside some of the angles you can see a number. So I'm going to just put a number in here. I'll put the number 1 right there. I could call this angle angle 1. Okay, so these are the three different ways that you could name your angle: by using three letters, by using a vertex point, or by using a number. In the next section, we're going to look at different types of angles that you may have heard of before. There are acute angles, right angles, obtuse angles, and straight angles. Let's start off with the acute angle. An acute angle is an angle that measures between 0 degrees, that's the degree symbol, and 90 degrees. An acute angle is between 0 degrees and 90 degrees. So we're going to draw a picture of what an acute angle might look like. Okay, an acute angle might look something like this. Okay, I could draw it a different way. I could make it look like this right here. This is an acute angle because it's between 0 degrees and 90 degrees. A right angle is an angle containing exactly 90 degrees. And we can draw a right angle. A right angle looks like this. Okay, we've talked about right angles before. These two rays are perpendicular to each other. I can put the right angle symbol in like that. You could also draw it like this if you wanted to. Okay, there's your right angle symbol. But this is what a right angle looks like. An obtuse angle is an angle that measures between 90 degrees and 180 degrees. So let's draw an obtuse angle. An obtuse angle might look something like this. Okay, I could draw it another way. I could draw it to make it look like this. These are what obtuse angles look like. Bigger than 90 degrees, but less than 180 degrees. And then finally, a straight angle is an angle that contains exactly 180 degrees. And it's called a straight angle because it looks like a straight line. Okay, so these are the 4 different types of angles that you may have heard of before. At the bottom, I'm going to use this figure right here to name different angles. I've got angles 1, 2, 3, and 4. And to help me with this, I'm going to use some colored pencils. I'm going to color the 2 rays that make the angle, and that'll help me to be able to name the angle. So we're going to start with angle 1, and I'm going to use my blue colored pencil here to highlight the 2 rays that make angle 1. Angle 1's in between these 2 rays, so I'm going to highlight with my blue colored pencil those 2 rays right there. Okay, and to name an angle, what you need to do is start out as far as you can on one of the rays, and then you're going to come to the vertex point, and then you're going to turn and go out as far as you can on the other ray, and those are the letters that you are going to use. So if I wanted to, all right, I could start out for angle 1 as far out as I can on this ray, and I see point B. B coming down to the vertex point here, which is point A, and then turning out and going all the way out onto the other angle, I see point D. So this is angle BAD, which I can put right here, angle BAD. Or, all right, we could call it angle. I could have started out on this ray, angle DAB, angle DAB. Either one of the names is fine. Okay. For angle number 2, all right, let me get a different color this time. I'll use this reddish color. Here's angle 2 in between these 2 rays, so let me go ahead and trace those. Ooh, there's angle number 2. Okay, and again, we're going to name this with 3 different letters. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start out on this ray. This is going to be angle DAM, angle DAM. Or if you started out on this ray, angle MAD, angle MAD. Angle number 3, well, here's angle 3 in between these 2 rays. So let's go ahead and trace these 2 rays. I'm going to use green. Okay. And now I'm going to use 3 letters to name this angle. So again, I can start out here, angle MAE, angle MAE, or I could start out here, angle EAM, angle EAM. Okay, finally, angle number 4. Angle number 4, I'll use orange this time. Here's 4 in between these 2 rays, so let me trace these 2 rays in orange. Okay, and let's go ahead and name this one. This could be angle CAB or angle BAC. Either angle's fine. Angle BAC or angle CAB. In the next picture, all right, I'm going to use this picture now in order to find an obtuse angle, an acute angle, and a right angle. So let's start with an obtuse angle. An obtuse angle, remember, is bigger than 90 but less than 180 degrees, and I'm going to use colored pencils again. So let me go ahead and trace an obtuse angle, and I actually see one right here. Okay, so if I take a look at this angle right here, and let's start by naming it by 3 letters first, okay, by 3 letters. If I did that, that would be angle CAM. Angle CAM, or you could name it the other way, which is angle MAC. Either one of those is fine. If I wanted to name this angle by number, okay, by number, well, notice I've had to use 2 different numbers in order to make that entire angle. So I'm going to have to call it angle 4 and angle 1 together. All right, it's angle 1 and angle 4 together. Now, I could have found a different obtuse angle. All right, if I traced it a different way, here it could use this ray and this ray here. Okay, so if I did it in green, I could draw those in. Okay, by 3 letters, that would be angle MAE. Angle MAE. Or angle EAM. I could go the other way. And if I use numbers, again, notice I had to use 2 different angles to make this one. This would be angle 2 with angle 3. Okay, let's see if we can find an acute angle. So I'll go ahead and I'll use a reddish color this time, an acute angle. And I see one right here. Here's an acute angle. Okay, so if I name that by number, that's just angle number 1. Angle number 1. By using 3 letters, that would be angle BAM or angle MAB. Angle BAM or angle MAB. Okay, I had a different one. If I used a different color, let me pull out purple. Okay, and I could see another acute angle right here. Here's another acute angle. And so if I decided to look at the purple angle, this time by number, that's angle number 2, which is angle MAD, or I could call it angle DAM. That's the purple angle that I put right here. Let's see if we can find a right angle, and I definitely see a right angle. Let me go ahead and use orange for that. Okay, I've got one right here that I can see. Here's a right angle. Okay, and so if I have it by number, I can see that that's angle number 3, which is angle EAD, or angle DAE. Okay, but I see another right angle in my picture, so let me use a different color. Let's pull out, let's use this reddish color again. All right, actually I already used the reddish color where I'm going. Let's use a brown colored pencil. Okay, there's a right angle found right here. Okay, this angle right here, and it even gave it away with the right angle symbol. This one by letters is angle number, or excuse me, by number is angle number 4. And if I did it by letters, that's angle CAB or angle BAC. The last thing I wanted to show you was how you can use a protractor to measure an angle. Okay, and you may have seen a protractor before. This is what a protractor looks like. And on my protractor here, okay, there's a little hole in the protractor, and this hole here needs to go over the vertex point, which I see right here. So I'm going to go ahead and put that hole over the vertex point. And if you can see on my protractor, there's a line right here that's going through that hole. This line has to land on top of one of the rays. So I'm just going to rotate my protractor so that that line lands on top of one of the rays. And that looks pretty good like that. Okay. So the line that lines up with the ray that we've come on is pointing towards 0 degrees. Okay, so I'm going to start at 0 here, and I have to count up until I get to this other ray of my angle, which I see going right here. Okay, so since I'm lined up with this ray and it points at 0, I'm using the bottom set of numbers. These numbers are going to count up. Let's see what we can do to get up to this number here when we get to this ray. So starting at 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. I'm past 70, but I'm not past 80. I'm in between 70 and 80 when I hit my line. Okay, so this is 70. And if I go up, it looks like I'm about 1, 2, 3 lines past the 70, which means that this angle here is going to be about 73 degrees. So let's go ahead and call that 73 degrees.